Good evening, or good morning, or good night. Actually, night and evening are the same thing. I mean, good afternoon. This is the Cool Teacher, and I'm back showing you guys how to go ahead and subtract integers. Now, I already showed you guys how to add integers, and I'll go ahead and link that video above. But now I'm showing you guys how to subtract integers. Now, the good thing about it is that whatever we do, we turn it back into adding. And since you guys should know how to add, since I have the video already up there, it's the same thing as adding integers. We just have 3 simple letters that we have to follow. So let's go ahead and get into what we would do. Let's get a problem up here. Let's see. Let's do -3 minus 9. Okay, -3 minus 9. Now, what we are going to do, okay, first thing that we're going to do is not try to subtract it. But if you can, that's cool. But if you don't know how to do it, we're just going to go ahead and flip it right back to adding integers. How do we do that? 3 simple letters. K. That K is trash. We're not going to do that. All right. K, C, O. Okay. You've probably seen these 3 letters in other videos that I've done, and yes, they mean the same thing. Now I'm gonna use that because I'm gonna do another problem. I'm using on both sides. So keep change and opposite. Oh, I would have liked this to stay in the middle, but we all know how that goes. But yes, KCO stands for keep change opposite. So what are we going to do? Just like you thought, we're going to keep this 3 as a -3. We're going to change subtraction, or the negative, or the minus sign. All of them mean the same thing. We're going to change that into an addition sign, or a plus sign, or a positive sign. Once again, they all mean the same thing. And the opposite of a 9. The opposite of a 9 is going to be a -9. Okay? And from here, I apply the same rules that I applied from my adding integers video. Okay? So what happens now? Well, since the signs are the same, they're going to stay the same. So my answer is going to be negative. And since the signs are the same, I go ahead and add the 2 numbers together. 3 plus 9. Why am I doing that? Because this is a -3 and this is a -9. So I go ahead and add them together. So what do 3 plus 9 give me? 3 plus 9 gives me, she said 12, you're correct. Alright, 3 plus 9 gives me 12, and I'm going to put that 12 right behind the negative. Because remember, since I have the same signs, a -9, -3, my answer is going to be negative. And since my signs are the same, I add them together, which would give me a -12. Alright? Everybody get that? Cool. But there are more than just one type of subtraction integers. So let me go ahead and do another problem really quick right next to this one. And this is just to separate the 2. And let me get another problem up here. So let's do 10 minus negative 21. Oh, I didn't put the negative. All right, 10 minus -21. So there we have it. So you're probably looking at this like, oh, what do we do here? Since we're subtracting integers, okay? And how do you know you're subtracting integers? It's a minus sign right here, and there's an integer right there, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and do the same exact thing. We're gonna go ahead and do our KCO. You know what that stands for? Keep, change, opposite. We're gonna go ahead and do KCO. And when we do KCO, what happens? Keep the 10. We change our negative or minus or subtraction sign into a plus, positive, or addition sign. And we go ahead and do the opposite of negative 21. What's the opposite of negative 21? Regular 21. So this is where the term two negatives make a positive come into play. The two negatives that are right next to each other ended up creating basically an addition sign. Okay? Now, if you're asking, well, why didn't these two negatives make a positive? Well, those two negatives didn't make a positive over here on the negative 3 minus 9. These didn't make a positive because they're not right next to each other. If these were right next to each other, then that would have happened. If I look at my problem over here, 10 minus negative 21, these two negatives are right next to each other. Even though they're being separated by parentheses, this is a negative, parentheses, negative. If I look over here, on this problem on my left-hand side, this is negative. I have a whole number there. Negative 3 in between the next negative. Okay? So that's why two negatives making a positive only applies when those negatives are... Wait a minute. What is that? I did not do that. Okay. It only applies to when those negatives are right next to each other. So you can see this problem is very, very simple. 10 plus 21. Technically, they're both positive numbers, and it's just a regular addition problem. 10 plus 21 is 31. Okay? And those would be the answers that I would get for both. Alright? If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Other than that, like, subscribe, and share this to whoever needs it, because you'd be surprised more people need it than what you think. Alright? This is TheCoolTeacher, and I'm out.